Good day. Welcome to Orange County Talk Radio. Orange County Talk Radio. I'm John Marino. We are produced by Sharc Creative. We are made possible by a variety of people who work up and down all throughout the Hudson Valley just for you. For example, Robeson Oil, the house that Service built. Michael Labriola, landscape design and construction of Armonk in Westchester. Hightower, Westchester, managing your wealth to a fiduciary standard, and Jaguar Landover. They're located all throughout the Hudson Valley. Stop into one of their showrooms, maybe the one in New Rochelle, White Plains, or Mount Kisco, among others. Here we are on what's happening in the Lower Hudson Valley. We are joined by Luis Abramson, the founder of Prostate Cancer Support Group, Cultivating Healing and Justice Initiative Support Services. They are located in Middletown and in Warwick, too, my old stomping grounds, where I began my career at WTBQ Radio, 11:10 a.m. back in 1979, like we used to say back then. Good time radio, 1110 TBQ and WTBQ and you. Luis Abramson, I know you've been on TBQ with my good friend Frank Truett. Here you are back on Orange County Talk Radio. Recount your story as a prostate cancer survivor.
I am a prostate cancer survivor. It is a very telling story. I found out in the most different ways. And this is why screening is so important. I ended up going to a physical, routine physical, and upon that routine physical, my blood was drawn and sent to a lab. The only thing was that part of the physical was not the PSA, and the PSA got done by the lab. And in addition, and when it got back sent, I ended up having a high PSA count. That led to biopsy and an MRI and a CT scan. But if it wasn't because of that blood test PSA, I probably would have may have gotten diagnosed much later in my life, which would have complicated my my health and my recovery, or it just would have just made it impossible to cure the cancer. So I'm very lucky. So this is why screening is so important, because that little mistake actually was the best mistake that could have happened to me. So so this is why I started back in 2021. I started launching this. Mr. John Marino at Sharc Creative has been so supportive, and the community. And I started, coming on and telling folks, the importance of screening. We started a support group. We have a small pantry up in Middletown. We do also educational seminars with doctors that are about 45 minutes long with Q&As, and we do a little bit of also of community advocacy and outreach with a sprinkle of legislation. And I think those are all very important key factors in our community. And so that's a little bit of my story.
Mm-hmm. And when you were diagnosed and you got word that you had prostate cancer, did you look back and say, they told me these are the symptoms. Yeah, I remember now, this happened, that happened. Or were you totally, in your mind at least, without symptoms?
Oh, no, I had no signs. I had literally participated in the Special Olympics because I have a son with autism, and I'm a very a big champion of intellectual needs, and I to me, it was just so strange, because there was just no symptoms there. I didn't know my family history. I didn't know if this had to do anything with obesity. I did not have any erectile dysfunction. So it was just like completely off a left field.
Did you say, like, wait a second, this has to be a mistake when they told you?
I was in denial.
Shocked.
You know, I think most men, when they're told, hey, you know, it's something serious going on, the first stage is denial before acceptance. And I think in between that, you know, you kind of are kind of angry because you're asking the question like, why me? But the reality is that you got to be proactive and you got to buckle down, really start going, getting your doctors to research what's going on, get your second opinions by all means, because there's always more multiple ways of dealing with cancers. So that's important that you get your second opinions. But you know, but you gotta be out there, especially being that this cancer is it's the second uh uh greatest killer in men. You know, and in the United States, it's 1 in 8 American men are gonna see this prostate cancer.
And yet, when
So,
if you catch it right away, this is one of the cancers that may be one of the easiest to cure, right?
oh,
If you catch it
absolutely,
right away.
absolutely. If you catch it right away, before it becomes metastatic, you basically have 100% um uh
Chance of
abilities
cure? Yeah.
to cure this cancer.
Hmm.
You know, obviously you'll want to stay in screening, you know, for a couple of years, and then also continue on seeing your doctors and get checked to see if there's any change in your levels. But it really is something that you can
Hmm.
beat, you know,
Hmm.
if you get proactive at it.
I had an uncle who had it off and on he had it a number of times over the course of 14 years. When he died, it was not from that because it was caught early on. It did come back a few times. It kind of came and went with him for 14 years, but he learned to live with it. And pretty much he got to the point where he knew when I pass away, whenever that might be, it's not going to be from prostate cancer because we did catch it early enough. I think he was a pretty good example, too, of how you can live your life if you do the screenings and if you go about your business and do what you have to do. If it's caught right away, you can still live your life a certain way.
Correct. You're 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 right. And I think you know, like anything, you know, when you start having trouble urinating, or decrease in force, or and you're actually um going more often than you recall, or some guys get like a pain in your midsection, in your back, um towards your spine. um you know, this could be not exactly prostate cancer, but it may, you know, and you should go and see a doctor. You shouldn't just, you know, like brush it off, because it's really, you know, some of the symptoms may be telling you something. So, you know, it's just important that, you know, you do that due diligence.
My mother was always on me to make sure I screen every year, which I do.
Mhm.
And she would tell you we have a history of it in the family with your uncle, obviously, had it for a long time. So make sure you do what you need to do. And I've done that on a regular basis every year. Now, you put the group together less than 2 years ago, Prostate
Right.
Cancer Support Group, Cultivating Healing and Justice Initiative Support Services. They're in Middletown and in Warwick, and they work up and down all throughout the Hudson Valley and the tri-state area. How are you able to get the ball rolling with the group so quickly?
Well, believe it or not, in our community, there is a lot of first responders and a lot of
And
people
you are a
like,
former New York City first responder,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly. And there's a lot of first responders and a lot of common folks alike, with different careers, you know, and it's not hard to find positive folks up here in the Hudson Valley, you know. I would say New Yorkers are about the most resilient people that you'll find, but they also are the most tenacious people that you'll find. So
Mm-hmm.
they have no problem forming a group, going out and helping folks. I think that's what one of the Big Apples is known for. A lot of people really forget that, but New York State has always been a pioneer in every aspect that you can think of, especially when it comes to healthcare. So and advocates here are no shortage. Up and down, you will see that there's always somebody forming something to help somebody. So that I think was not a problem. I think we were very lucky.
And oh, by the way, Orange County is filled with first responders who moved up to New
yeah.
York City. In your town, a couple of guys I went to high school with, one who passed away earlier this year. He was a cop, and he likely died from a 9/11 related illness 20 years later, from what we know. But in the towns ringed around you there in Orange County, a lot of guys I went to school with who became cops, firemen, sanitation, etc. And you talk about how the Hudson Valley has grown with so many people who came out of New York City and moved north, but not too far north. And that's what the community is about.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, anybody who's grown in Brooklyn or the Bronx and Manhattan, or Queens and Long Island, you guys know, the neighbor that used to watch out for you, and he would be on the step, or the lady that your mom would rely on, if she needed somebody to babysit or anything. New Yorkers are really if you remember 9/11, you notice how everybody came together and it didn't matter what race, what color, what nationality. It didn't matter. It just simply didn't matter. Everybody came together and helping each other out. And so I think that we really haven't lost that. It's still here. And I think that speaking about 9/11, there are a lot of cases now of individuals, both former law enforcement and FDNY and other emergency services, as well as the MTA. But there's also the people that went there to help out, and also the people that they lived around the area, and now they're starting to start developing these symptoms. Some of these symptoms are related to 9/11. You got the veterans also with Agent Orange, which is an exposure that does create different type of cancers, one being prostate cancer. So it's quite interesting, as you get older in age, how all of a sudden here you are now facing a cancer that you didn't believe was ever going to hit you. And so that's definitely a very good point that you made, John.
Yeah, I will mention the name of my old friend from the old St. Agnes High School near Grand Central in Manhattan, who passed away. You might know who he was. He, I believe, at one point ran the Warwick Softball League. Frank Mulzette, NYPD, who passed away.
Yeah.
You knew Frank?
Very, very, very well liked, very well known.
He was a great guy, and I'll tell you a little Frank Mulzette story, John Marino story together in intramural hockey junior year at St. Agnes. I won the Most Valuable Player award, but we lost the championship game when Frank Mulzette, with about 90 seconds left in regulation, stole the puck from me and scored the winning goal. And I was distraught in the locker room after the game, and Frank came over to me and said, "Hey, Marino, you wouldn't have been in this game. Your team wouldn't have been in this game if you didn't have the season you had." And that's the kind of guy he was. Instead of basically shoving it in my face because he stole the puck from me and won the championship, scoring the game-winning goal with me down on my two knees and looking around behind me at, what did I do? 50 years later, this was 1973. So basically 50 years, a half a century later, I still think of this, and I thought of it for about 24 hours straight through when I got word that Frank passed away earlier this year. He was a great guy as a young guy, and I know how well liked he was at the NYPD, and after that, a very community-oriented guy. around Warwick and around Orange County too.
Yeah, well, you gotta know that uh, his type of character is a world class gentleman. So um, I think he always had it in him, and since he was young, so so it was to be expected, that he was gonna be, definitely a good role model to the community.
If you see his
Um,
old picture in one of our high school yearbooks with a
yeah.
mischievous smile, that was Frank Mulzak. Yeah,
Wow, man, that's
yeah,
great.
yeah. Small world, right,
Yeah,
Luis?
yeah.
Yep.
So,
Luis
so
Abramson is the founder of the Prostate Cancer Support Group, Cultivating Healing and Justice Initiative Support Services in Middletown and Warwick. Here in Orange County, Luis, you one of the community groups and organizations that works with your group, another organization, the Hudson Valley Renegades baseball team. They are now an A-League, A-level affiliate of the Yankees, and you have something coming up with them at
yeah,
Dutchess Stadium, their home base in Wappingers Falls in Dutchess County,
yeah,
right off 84.
definitely. So we have a baseball game for prostate cancer awareness. And also recently we've had the good fortune of having WMC Health, which is also known by Westchester Medical Center of a Health Network, and they're gonna be available to give PSA blood screening on site. So that would be very, very, very good. So you have now another opportunity to come down and not only watch a game, but also take care of your health in the process. It costs you nothing. A big shout out, big thank you to WMC Health, Westchester Medical Center Health Network for stepping up. We love when people step up to the ball plate, right? And that's what this is all about. This is all coming all together. The Hudson Valley Renegades and ourselves and WMC, and all the community come together and stepping up and doing these type of activities to bring both health education, awareness, and screening all together in one. So,
I know Steve
um,
Gleiner at the
mhm.
Renegades has done a lot with you too.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're all world class acts. They got an excellent community outreach program. A young lady by the name of Marcella in there, and they're just doing all kinds of great things. So uh, the date of the game is Wednesday the 24th on this month in August at 7:05. You can get there at 6, as early as 6. If you use our code CHJI, you will get a hot dog and a soda, and your voucher will also help us with a small donation. So you'll be doing three things. You'll be going to a game, the ability to have a blood screening to find out what your PSA levels are for free. You'll get to be able to get a snack and something to eat, and you'll also be able to give something back to a community outreach program like ourselves. Use the code CHJI, and you can go to their website, and it's we're looking forward to a great game, um, and don't
Here's the
forget.
selling point about the game: A-level Yankees affiliate. Without a
Yeah,
doubt, if you show up a few years down the road, you'll see at least one player, likely more, who was at that game, playing at Yankee Stadium one day. And you can say, hey, I remember when he played up in Wappingers Falls.
that's right. That's right. This game, they be playing against the Raw Dolls. So and and I'm a big fan, so I got my hat. You know, my little guy got his. You know, and come down. And make sure you bring your gloves, because you never know, you might catch a ball.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and there's just great people over there in Dutchess County. So um, so it's just great stuff. So again, the game day is in Wednesday, the 24th at 7:05 p.m. Or 7 sharp, whichever you prefer. You can get there at 6. Um, remember to use code CHJI so you can get that value package deal with the hot dog and drink. And also we will, for the first 100 guests, we will be providing a swag bag with a t-shirt
A
and
fanny pack.
some goodies in it.
Uh-huh.
So make sure that you get to the gate on time, and you will be able to see us, and you'll meet some of our advisory doctors there, and some of the YMC Health as well, the medical group in there, and come down, have some fun, and be able to also support in a educational day as well, with a PSA screening and a fantastic game.
And you have another event coming up too. Orange County Resolution will be set in motion involving prostate cancer. That's on September 1st, correct?
Yeah. So, as always, CHJI is always trying to do the most possible for the community. So I want to give a big shout out to Peter V. Tui. He's the chairman of the Health and Mental Health Committee, and also the rest of the group over there at the committee. Michael Almo, Micah Agostasi, Janet Sutherland, Glenn Eyre, Kevin and Darren and Lugan, Lori, Dottie, and Thomas and G. Forgiano. They were all so great at both having us do a briefing on what we've been doing, and what are the status, and what's going on, in this neck of the woods in New York. But not only that, they surprised us by saying, "Hey, Luis, we're also going to do it on September 1st. We're going to be doing a Orange County prostate cancer awareness and resolution." And
where is it going to take place?
So the resolution takes place at the county building up in Goshen, on September 1st. And
what time?
Don't know the time yet. We will be posting that
on the website.
On the website as we get more information. But definitely check the Orange County website, as they also will be posting it as well. And,
under County Executive Steve Newhouse, too.
Exactly.
Right. Yep,
exactly.
Yeah, and by the way, special shout out to Heather Bell Meyer, the head of the Chamber of Commerce in Orange County, too, right?
Oh man, she's a sweetheart. I believe she may make even an appearance. I definitely will be shouting out with her and connecting her and saying, hey, because she is such an energetic person in the community. She's really a person that really knows how to connect everybody and get everybody together to move in a positive direction.
Maybe have her come down to the Renegades game and throw out the first pitch. How about that?
We will see. We will see, because we will see. We'll definitely give her a call.
Somebody's got to throw out the first pitch. Could be you, right?
Well,
the old Abramson fastball, right?
I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know if baseball was ever
slider, right?
I don't know if baseball was ever in my forte.
Maybe I'll throw my old knuckleball.
Well, yeah, listen, John. You're definitely more more of an athlete with in that category.
I had
We
a
will see.
cousin try to tell me a couple of days ago nicely, you weren't the athlete you think you were. I was better than you.
Oh no,
He
he
was better
did.
than me. Now, there's no question. He could have played at higher levels had he wanted to. He did not. So,
Yeah, but I do know a secret that most fans don't know, and that is that I know that you are definitely one of the baseball's biggest supporters. You go to support the little league, and you are there. So thank you so much, because you really do a lot in the community.
I
So
try to get around as much as possible. Not always easy to do, but I do try to be there. And I think it's important to do for the young people who are coming up, and even for some of the fans who come, the parents and friends and the players and the athletes. It's special to them. So, it's good to be part of that always.
yeah, and I did get a request though, and so we'll see, because I got a request from my 8-year-old. They would like to throw the pitch. So
Okay, there you
so we
go.
so
I
so we
think we
gotta
have somebody,
so
right?
so we so
Yeah.
so we have to we have to follow up on that. And
Here's a
hopefully
thought for first pitch. Your son is what, right-handed?
he's a lefty.
Left. There you. Oh, even better. Need one righty, one lefty. So you have the lefty already, which is a lot harder to find. Now find a righty they can throw out the first pitch back to back from the mound. One side, the lefty on the left side of the rubber, the righty on the right side of the rubber. Have two catches and throw it at the same time. That's a
Yeah,
thought.
that would be a dangerous team right there, because
Yeah, I mean that. I think that'd be fun to see something like that. Maybe that's not why. Maybe that's why I'm not a creative director, but
oh
at least
man.
it's a thought. So Orange County resolution involving prostate cancer, September 1st at the county building in Goshen. More on that on the
Yeah,
county website and on your website too.
yeah.
Give us all of your contact information again.
You can follow us on Facebook, and at CHJI SS.org. You can do the in or Cultivating Healing Injustice Initiative. Or you can also follow us on Instagram at CHJI. Our website is chjiss.org as well. And our office is at 40 Grove Street, Suite 103 in Middletown, New York. And you can always call us at 877 245 4227. Again, the number is 877 245 4227. And as you know, CGI cares. And just remember that CGI cares, and dial 877. That's basically our number right there too. Um, uh, we are here to do both community outreach, education. We have an enclosed pantry for people going under cancer, and their family. And this is something that we like to do. We do car shows. This shirt was from
How did the car show go
the
this
last car show. It went well. We this is a flyer that we had for it. We had the Mount Sinai mobile unit, which is recently
I
reported
was
that they've
born in
done.
Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan.
They recently reported they did about 700 screenings already. So the word is getting around, and we would like to have them here every year. We do a walk at Otisville in May, and we do a car show this following year will be in September. So I'll be looping back with you, John, on that. And like I said, this is our game. Don't forget, on August 24th at the Hudson Valley Renegades. And thank you so much, and John Marino, Sharc Creative, and the team. and also all of those supporters out there watching us right now, because it takes a village to help people. It cannot be done by one person or one group. It really takes a village. So I want to thank all of you, and also WMMC Health, Westchester the Medical Center, for stepping up, coming down, doing that free blood screening for our guests.
Luis Abramson, again, the founder of the prostate cancer support group Cultivating Healing and Justice Initiative, support services of Middletown and Warwick. They work throughout Orange County, the Hudson Valley, and the entire tri-state area. Luis, we thank you again. Talk to you next time around, and good luck with the upcoming events.
Thank you, John. And let's see when we see each other again. Maybe we'll see each other at the ballpark. Who knows?
Yeah, I won't be able to come. I'll be out on Long Island all week.
Or if not, I'll see you at the ceremony for the resolution. But I'll send you a video.
Let's see if I can make it there.
Yeah, I will send you a video. You know me.
Right, that you will. We'll send a video. Thanks, Luis. All right, here at Orange County Talk Radio, what's happening in the Lower Hudson Valley. I'm John Marino, produced by Sharc Creative, and we are made possible by a variety of folks who make what we do possible. They work up and down all throughout the Hudson Valley. Robuston Oil, the house that service built. Michael Labriola, landscape design and construction of Arma in Westchester. Also Hightower, Westchester, managing your wealth to a fiduciary standard, and also by Jaguar Land Rover. They're located all throughout the sprawling Hudson Valley. Variety of showrooms, 3 of them, for example, 1 each in New Rochelle, White Plains, and Mount Kisco. Catch all of our Orange and Dutchess, Westchester and Rockland, Putnam and Fairfield County talk radio programming on our YouTube channel, Sharc Creative YouTube, and yes, we are now on Apple Podcasts too.